Hi, my name is Jeff Pagano, and welcome to the Harpin on Rugby preview show on our YouTube channel. Please don't be shy with the like and or subscribe button if you can. Joining me to look ahead to Leinster's match this weekend is someone earning cap number 122. Welcome back to Mr. Neil KEEGO KEEGAN.
How are we? I promise this is not vodka. This is coffee after the weekend we had last weekend. Hope you're well.
I believe I believe you, millions wouldn't. Before we start, I suppose we've no choice but to ask for your quick thoughts on what happened at Croker, or would you rather not?
I'd rather not, but no, it just wasn't good enough. That's it. It was terrible, 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 terrible. And we've got to not be emotional and figure out our way through it.
Yeah, what got me about it was there was one particular moment. I didn't mention this on our pod. There was one moment in the second half when the game was pretty much lost, but we won a penalty. We put it into their 22, and Ian Madigan in the commentary box said, "Lads, would just move." You know, they were walking, slow walking to the things. There's still a chance to win the game here, and that's pretty much how the Leinster fans were feeling looking at it. And that kind of summed up the performance. And we just whatever happens this week, we just need to we need to see an improvement on that score.
Yeah, we're gonna have bad days. That's fine, but when even in a bad day, the lads will always try, always look like they're trying. I'm not saying they weren't trying, but they'll always look like they're trying. That was the first time in certainly my kicked in the head too often memory where I saw them not doing that. And Madigan just said what we were all saying, whether you're in the stands or in the pub or on the couch downstairs. We were all saying the same thing, and it was very un-Leinster. And even though it's not football, when it happens in football, it's a sign of something else. So that's what I'm hoping it's not. But we move on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Well, let's do that and look at our feature match of the week, which is of course Leinster v Zebre Parma in round 5 of the 25-26 United Rugby Championship. It's taking place at the Aviva Stadium on Saturday, October 25th, kicking off at 5:30 p.m. with TV coverage on Premier Sports and URC.tv. Leinster named their matchday squad. If you're on Friday, if you're watching on YouTube, it's right there in the screen. And for pod listeners, it's in the program notes. KEEGO has picked a few points from that lineup, starting with the overall plan, I suppose.
Yeah, we need to see something. We need to see. I understand they had a plan in place, and that's absolutely understandable. The Irish lads are gone. Still a pretty good team they've picked. My third point is probably the biggest one for Saturday. We need to see the opposite of last week. Okay, there was a lot of possession, a lot of territory. That's great. Scrum worked well. That's great. But we need to see something in terms of urgency. So from minute one, I would have almost rather a return match or a European match or something this week, as opposed to, with all due respect to Zebre, I just looking it up today. Was it 76 something was the last time we played them? That's not going to do anything for us. We need to see the performance. We need to see anger. We need to see aggression. We need to see you know the opposite of what we saw last weekend. So it's going to be, there's a lot of pressure on these inexperienced players coming in. So that's where Deegan's going to have to step up. Snyman's on the bench. We need these players to. Slimani's going to be in because Six Nations we're getting into internationals, so we need them playing as much as possible. But Slimani's a leader. Snyman's on the bench. Deegan has a lot of caps in him. Luke McGrath, 115 years of age. These guys need to step up and kick arses whenever we need arses kicked, because it didn't happen last week.
Yeah, I mean, Luke McGrath is the captain, but like you say, there's a lot of new names. There's like 5 new caps. There's 2 more that have only had 1 cap. A lot of new names. So, you could say it's an unexperienced lineup, but there's still a ton of names with tons of experience out there. And that is one thing we've been missing over the last few weeks. And we do need those leaders to step up. Your second point is about the overall mistakes. It's along the same lines, but it's the simple mistakes being made.
It's in simple mistakes, which is caused by pressure, and if we can't handle pressure at the beginning of the season, it doesn't bode well. So, like, there's pressure not necessarily on the pitch this weekend, and that's me probably jinxing everything. But the pressure is all between the ears. The pressure is all about the weekday. This team in particular has had. The Ireland lads went off and got their free tracksuits on Tuesday, so they're off on a different assignment. It's the lads who have been in there all week, living with this, living with last weekend, and some of them are living with the shoddy work the other guys have done in Croker last weekend. There's a lot to deal with, and it's all between the ears, and it has to be navigated. So The skill level is there, the talent is there, the leaders are there on the pitch. We just need this pressure alleviated, and they have to be able to do it right now. If we can't do it now, we can't do it in knockout rugby.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk forever about the mixing up the teams and feeding back Lions players and time off and all this kind of stuff as well. But it doesn't really wash. The 23 that's picked for the weekend, they know they're being picked from the Tuesday. It's about being match ready for the day. Whatever their preparation, whatever they're coming back from tours or previous things, it's all about you've got to be ready when the game kicks off. The other team, we wouldn't expect the other team to use that excuse when we play them as well.
Yeah.
And it's about showing up on the day and basically like you say, last week was mostly a case of we made mistakes, Munster didn't. And when we made them, Munster were able to capitalize on them.
Yeah.
So it's a question of repeating that. And just for you, one third point as well. It's one particular player you'd like to see play more often.
Yeah, so we've been talking about him for a couple of years now. You guys have been talking about him probably for longer than that, since he was probably under eights for Leinster. Fintan Gunne needs to be on the pitch as often as possible. When he came on last week, and I know Gibson Park elite level, and it's not a knock on anybody, and that's how you start a conversation where you're about to knock a player. But I'm not going to do that. But when Fintan Gunne came on, he did what we've seen him do in the RDS against teams like Zebre, flung that ball around, forced people to move. I saw him shouting at people. And when you see someone 5'2" shouting at big monsters like that, it shows his head's in the game. And I think, I know Luke McGrath is an amazing player. Somehow has found this form at the age he is, shouldn't have, which is great. But we need Fintan Gunne on that pitch. We need him demanding things of that players around him. And I think when he comes on tomorrow, we're going to see that. I think he'll be given a little bit of freedom to run that team, scream at people, and look, for the comedy value of him screaming at Snyman alone, it's worth the family ticket to the Aviva tomorrow.
Yeah, it's definitely, I mean, like you say, nothing against Luke McGrath or Gibson Park from last week, but we're bringing up these younger players. Fintan Gunne is still one of them. He's a few more caps under his belt, but he's still learning his trade. But he's definitely shown so far that he can run the offense. He got a try in the URC final, and he definitely plays like he belongs. And he's starting to and you need that in the scrum half. You need a scrum half who's going to talk to the players around him. It's part of the job. So he's shown he can do it, and also getting his debuts at the Caspar Gabriel. We've heard a lot about him. He's the next along in the assembly line. It's a 6-2 bench for Leinster as well, but there's a lot of, again, you got Snyman, Soroka, who's been playing really well this season, Will Connors coming off that bench. So we'll be expecting an 80-minute performance from this team for sure. Okay, so now it's time to have just a quick look at Zebre. Like KEEGO said, it's not that long since we last hosted in the Aviva. It was a 76-5 victory on May the 10th of this year, but we weren't celebrating too much then either, because that was also 1 week after a disappointing defeat we'd rather not mention. So this season, they currently lie a few places above Leinster. They're sitting 8th. What do you make of their lineup, KEEGO?
Look, I think they are, for the first time probably in their history, they are relishing the journey over to see us. Like we've said this over the last few weeks, people are starting to fancy their chances a bit, and I do not like that. They've seen how this defense can be taken advantage of. Do they have the players? Not all the players. They have a few really good players in there, but I think overall the problem I have is teams fancy the shot now. Zebre are just the latest. Like 76-3 last time, they have a free shot. So if it's 76-15, that's a huge increase in their output. We can't allow that to happen. So like they're coming, they're ready to go, they're going to have fun, they're going to enjoy themselves, and they're going to fancy it. I do not like that at all. If they get off to, like, if they start putting us back for the first 5 minutes, 7 minutes, I'm going to be in the front row of the North Stand shouting at that team, and they will not like what I'm saying to them. I'm talking about Leinster. I'll be in my blue jersey, and I think I'm not worried about the result. I'm worried about the performance, and Zebre could be spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same with what happened in May. I mean, after a result like last week, there is literally nothing Leinster can do. against, like, again, all due respect to Zebre, but there is no result we can post against Zebre that will wash away what happened last week. But the lads still have to go out and do it, because I tell you, if it goes the wrong way, we'll still be hearing about it, and everything from last week is going to be ramped up again. So the boys have to go out and put in the performance. So we'll just, it's over to them, and we'll see what they do at the Aviva. Now the officials for this weekend, we've got Ian Kenny, Scottish referee. I think it's only his seventh URC game. There's Irish assistants there and a Scottish TMO. The weather for Dublin 4, it looks like it's going to behave Saturday evening. Partly cloudy, only 4% rain, maybe not much wind. So fingers crossed there. We're going to now take a quick look at the other matches. Which one stands out for you, KEEGO? I think it's pretty clear which one is the big one there.
There is only one. And listen, after last week, I need my other team to do a job. And it's going to be Genie Mac. It's going to be difficult. But this is going to be a great, obviously, Munster Connacht is what I'm talking about. And it's going to be sold out. It's going to be jam-packed. It's going to be a great atmosphere. As it was last weekend to Munster, fair play. I've been nice about Munster for a week, and I don't like myself about it. I did a give me a minute about congratulating Munster. I don't want to do that too often this season. Connacht they're going to be affected with the Ireland call-ups, but this is a test for Munster, right? So the outcome is not, that they didn't deserve the victory or anything like that. The issue is this emotional energy that Munster use every once in a while. So whether it's the Conway try against Toulon, a couple of performances like that, they were using Foley's anniversary. Fair play to them up there. They were using the apparent lack of respect from Andy Farrell. On top of any time they see a blue jersey, they play better. So they have to now, and I know Munster get affected by the Ireland call-ups as well. They have to keep that output now for the rest of the season, regardless of the opposition. So there is a bit of pressure on Munster as well. If they're able to get to 60-70% of what they did last week, they'll win. I'm hoping for Connacht to kind of be stubborn, be angry, be aggressive, put it up to them, and really make a game out of it. It's going to be a great atmosphere down there. And listen, I don't want to be nice about Munster on Monday morning. So come on, Connacht.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you say, Munster, things weren't perfect for Munster last week. They defended really well, and it sounds like sour grapes, but the stats are there. Leinster were near perfect on set pieces, scrums and lineouts. It was just we weren't doing anything with the possession. So Munster do have issues there, and Stu Lancaster is just the kind of coach to be ready for such weaknesses and to exploit them, and he'll be waiting for them. So it's not a given, but you have to fancy Munster. Ulster, there's a big game on Friday evening, Glasgow against the Bulls. That's a repeat of the final from 2 years ago. There's also Ulster, who are who have a chance, and you wouldn't rule against them. 10 points from maximum 10 points from a South African swing. That's almost unheard of. So they've got a good chance. They're playing the Lions also this weekend. Sharks host the Scarlets, Benetton against the league leaders, the Stormers, Dragons against Ospreys, and Cardiff against Embra. So we're going to go back to our feature match now, KEEGO, and it's head on the block time. How do you see it going in the Aviva?
I've gotten it wrong every week for the last 17 years. And listen, it has to be a big win, but it has to be a good win. It's Leinster by multiple tries, but I'm not really looking at the scoreboard. I'm looking at the players. I need aggression out of them. I need urgency out of them. I need, anytime there's a line out, I don't want Ian Madigan shouting at them. I don't want us shouting at them. I need to see that from the team. But yeah, Leinster by 4 tries.
Yeah, that's it. It's the attitude and the performance and the way they play from pretty much the whole 80 minutes is what we'll be looking for sure. Okay, listen, we're going to leave it there, man. Many thanks for joining us. What stand-up gigs do you have on the horizon?
So we're rolling into Crack Dealers Comedy Club in the Mill Theatre November 15th. I have my own show at the Dún Laoghaire Comedy Festival November 7th. And then I'm back to the Mill Theatre with my own show on the 22nd. And then we're opening a comedy club in Dún Laoghaire on the 4th of December. So KEEGAN for all the tickets. Please come to my show. It's a story about how an Irish dad navigates a world full of women. I'm a house full of women. I'm the token Y chromosome here. So I need all the dads to come out and support me.
Absolutely. And as ever, you'll find KEEGO's relevant links in the program notes, and check out his Instagram for that. What is it? Give me a minute. You're gonna be running that regularly.
Give me a minute. Yeah, there'll be a give me a minute coming up tomorrow after the game. So hopefully it is just a minute and not give me 2.5 hours to give out about what just happened.
Brilliant. Okay, and listen, before you speaking of the Mill Theatre, before we wrap things up, I just want to tell the viewers about a play that's on in the Mill Theatre in Dundrum next week. It's called Soldier Field. It was penned by the excellent rugby journal Pat McCarry. I spoke to Pat about the production. If you're listening to the podcast, I'm going to put that at the end. Otherwise, you'll find the full chat on our YouTube channel. Please do have a watch. Okay, listen, we're going to leave it there for now. Many thanks to you all for checking out our latest preview show. Be sure to enjoy the match wherever you are, and look out for that rap pod we're recording on Sunday evening. Hopefully you'll help us out by liking, sharing, and subscribing. In the meantime, stay safe, everyone. Slán.